The Golden State Warriors, one of the NBA's most decorated dynasties of the modern era, stand at a crossroads. The franchise that dominated much of the 2010s with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green now finds itself navigating questions of age, roster balance, and how to extend the championship window. With the 2025 to 2026 season looming, whispers of blockbuster trades and roster shakeups are louder than ever. Among those rumors, none has sparked more fascination than the possibility of Giannis Antetokounmpo joining the Golden State Warriors. Alongside that, speculation about Al Horford as a veteran reinforcement and the ongoing debate around Jonathan Kuminga's role and long-term future create a complex narrative for the team. This script will break down every angle, examine the media reports, and analyze what Golden State must do to remain a contender. Part 1: The Giannis Antetokounmpo Trade Rumors. Giannis Antetokounmpo has long been seen as one of the few players who could change the balance of power in the NBA instantly. A two-time MVP, a Finals MVP, and one of the most dominant forces in basketball, his blend of size, athleticism, and relentless energy makes him a generational talent. When rumors started surfacing that Giannis might not be entirely happy with the Milwaukee Bucks' direction, Golden State naturally became one of the hypothetical landing spots. The appeal is obvious. Imagine Giannis alongside Stephen Curry. The gravity of Curry's shooting combined with Giannis' unstoppable drives to the basket would create an offensive nightmare for opponents. Defenses would be forced to pick their poison, either collapse on Giannis in the paint or chase Curry 30 feet from the rim. Add Draymond Green's playmaking and defensive IQ, and the Warriors could potentially reassemble a championship-caliber core. But here lies the complication. What would it take to get Giannis to Golden State? The Bucks would never let him go cheaply. A package would likely include Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, multiple future first-round picks, and perhaps even Andrew Wiggins. The Warriors would essentially be mortgaging their future for the chance to pair Giannis with Curry. Media perspectives on the Giannis to Warriors rumor. Across sports media, analysts are split. Some argue that this kind of aggressive move is the only way Golden State can maximize the final years of Curry's prime. Curry is still playing at an elite level, but at 37, the window is naturally closing. A partnership with Giannis could immediately extend the dynasty's life. Others warn that such a trade could strip the roster of depth, leaving the team vulnerable. Basketball is not just about stars. Role players, defense, and chemistry matter. A gutted Warriors team with Giannis and Curry but little else might not actually guarantee a championship. The rumor remains speculative, but the fact that it persists shows how desperate Golden State fans are to find the next big piece to keep the dynasty alive. Part 2: The Al Horford Connection. Beyond the flashy name of Giannis, another intriguing rumor links the Warriors with Al Horford. While Horford doesn't bring the same headline value, his potential impact could be exactly what Golden State needs. Horford, now a seasoned veteran, is known for his versatility, defensive positioning, and ability to stretch the floor with outside shooting. His leadership and calm presence in high-pressure playoff moments have been invaluable for the Boston Celtics. For a Warriors team that has sometimes lacked reliable frontcourt stability, Horford could be a perfect complementary piece. Unlike the Giannis scenario, acquiring Horford wouldn't require giving up the franchise's future. The Celtics may be willing to negotiate if they shift toward youth or financial flexibility. Golden State could use smaller assets, perhaps Moody, draft capital, or rotational pieces, to make a deal happen. Horford's arrival wouldn't be about revolutionizing the Warriors' identity, but rather reinforcing it. He could provide spacing for Curry and Klay, protect the paint alongside Draymond, and give Steve Kerr a reliable big who thrives in a system built on ball movement and high IQ plays. Jonathan Kuminga's future. Perhaps no player sparks more debate within the Warriors fanbase and front office than Jonathan Kuminga. The former lottery pick has shown flashes of brilliance, explosive dunks, improved mid-range shooting, and defensive potential against multiple positions. At times, Kuminga looks like he could be the future face of the franchise. At other times, inconsistency raises questions about whether he can develop fast enough to keep pace with Curry's remaining prime years. Reports suggest that Kuminga has grown frustrated with his role. While he has improved his minutes and production, he has not always been given the full freedom to dominate. Steve Kerr's system often prioritizes veterans and structured ball movement, which sometimes clashes with Kuminga's raw athletic, isolation-heavy style. The Warriors must make a decision. Do they continue to invest in Kuminga as a cornerstone for the post-Curry era, or do they trade him as part of a blockbuster move to maximize today? His name surfaces in almost every hypothetical trade package, whether for Giannis, Horford, or other stars. If Kuminga stays, he must be given more trust. He could thrive as a two-way forward, attacking mismatches, defending wings, and running in transition. If he goes, Golden State must ensure the return is truly worth giving up on one of the most promising young players they've developed since drafting Curry. What the Warriors must do for the new season. Regardless of trade rumors, Golden State has some clear priorities for the 2025 to 2026 season. 1. Maximize Curry's last great years. Stephen Curry is still the heartbeat of the franchise. Every decision must revolve around giving him the tools to compete for a title now. That means reliable scorers, consistent defenders, and enough depth to survive the long grind of the season. 2. Balance youth and veterans. The Warriors cannot afford to fully abandon their young core. Kuminga, Podziemski, and Tracy Jackson-Davis are vital for the future. The challenge is blending them with veterans like Curry, Draymond, and potentially Horford. 3. Strengthen the frontcourt. Whether through a big trade or smaller moves, the Warriors must secure size and rebounding. The Western Conference is loaded with dominant big men, from Nikola Jokic to Anthony Davis. Without reinforcements inside, Golden State risks being overpowered. 4. Improve bench production. Depth has been a weakness in recent years. Players like Moses Moody, Gary Payton II, and others must step up, or the front office must find role players who can. 5. Define roles clearly. Part of Golden State's struggles have come from unclear rotations. Kerr must settle on lineups that maximize spacing, defense, and chemistry without constant uncertainty for younger players. The Warriors' future hangs on tough choices. Chasing Giannis would be a bold, win-now gamble. Adding Horford could be a more measured but impactful step. Trusting Kuminga could set the stage for the next generation. And in the middle of it all is Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, still hungry for more rings, still determined to fight against time and decline. The 2025 to 2026 season won't just be another year for Golden State. It could define whether the dynasty finds new life or fades into memory. With every rumor, every trade discussion, and every game, the Warriors are writing the next chapter of one of basketball's greatest stories. The Golden State Warriors enter the 2025 to 2026 NBA season in a unique position. After a decade of dominance, the dynasty is no longer untouchable, yet the hunger remains. The franchise has added new pieces, experimented with bold moves, and leaned on its veterans to keep the window open. This year, the spotlight is firmly on four players: Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, and Brandon Podziemski. Each represents a different layer of Golden State's strategy: the defensive anchor, the hard-nosed competitor, the legendary superstar, and the rising young talent. The Warriors' success this season depends not on one man, but on how these four stories blend together. Part 1: Draymond Green, the anchor and the instigator. Draymond Green has been the emotional engine of the Warriors for more than a decade. Entering this season, he remains just as crucial, even if his physical tools are not what they once were. What we should expect from Draymond is leadership, defense, and orchestration. Defensively, he is still one of the smartest players in the league. He knows where to rotate, how to call out coverages, and when to disrupt an opponent's rhythm. Against Western Conference giants like Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, and Karl-Anthony Towns, Draymond's ability to anchor the defense will determine whether Golden State can survive playoff battles. Offensively, Draymond's playmaking continues to be underrated. He doesn't score much, but his ability to run the fast break, set screens, and feed Curry or Podziemski keeps the Warriors' motion offense alive. The expectation is that Draymond will spend more time mentoring younger bigs like Tracy Jackson-Davis, while also conserving his energy for the biggest games. The question is discipline. Draymond has had a history of suspensions and emotional outbursts. For Golden State to thrive this season, he must find the balance, staying fiery without crossing the line. If he does, he remains the Warriors' heartbeat. Part 2: Jimmy Butler, the new Warrior. Perhaps the most intriguing storyline is Jimmy Butler's arrival in Golden State. Known as Playoff Jimmy, Butler brings intensity, toughness, and a win-at-all-costs mentality. His decision to join Golden State shocked many, but the fit makes sense. The Warriors have skill, shooting, and finesse. What they've lacked at times is a relentless competitor who thrives in the clutch. Butler is expected to be the bridge between generations. He can take pressure off Curry during the regular season by carrying scoring loads on certain nights. More importantly, when playoff time comes, Butler is the type of player who elevates his game. He brings perimeter defense, mid-range scoring, and leadership that complements Curry's shooting and Draymond's organizing. The key challenge will be chemistry. Butler is known for demanding accountability. Will he mesh with the Warriors' culture, which has been more free-flowing and lighthearted? If Butler buys in, he could be the X factor that pushes Golden State back into title contention. Part 3: Stephen Curry, the timeless legend. At 37, Stephen Curry continues to defy the aging curve. Each year, fans and analysts wonder if his decline will finally begin, and each year, he proves them wrong. Entering the 2025-2026 season, expectations remain sky-high. Curry doesn't just bring shooting, he brings gravity. Defenses bend, twist, and collapse simply because he is on the floor. Every action Golden State runs, from handoffs to pick-and-rolls, begins with the threat of Curry pulling up from 30 feet. This season, Curry's role may evolve slightly. With Butler in the mix and Podziemski growing, Curry won't need to carry the same offensive load every night. Instead, he can pick his moments, conserve energy, and focus on staying fresh for the postseason. Still, make no mistake, when it matters most, Curry will be the first option. What should we expect? Nights of vintage brilliance, where Curry drops 40 points and buries teams with impossible shots. We should also expect leadership, mentoring Podziemski, guiding younger players, and continuing to set the culture that defines Golden State. For Curry, the mission is simple: chase one more championship before the curtain closes. Part 4: Brandon Podziemski, the rising star. The Warriors' future rests heavily on Brandon Podziemski. After a promising rookie season, he has shown flashes of becoming a complete guard, scoring, passing, rebounding, and defending with effort. This season is about taking the leap. Podziemski is expected to be more than a role player. He could evolve into a starter who balances playmaking with Curry, shares ball-handling duties, and provides consistent scoring. His basketball IQ has impressed the coaching staff, and his willingness to dive for loose balls and fight for rebounds has made him a fan favorite. The big expectation is growth in confidence. He needs to take more shots, push the pace, and become a reliable secondary creator. If Podziemski thrives, Golden State will not only have a contender today but also a cornerstone for the future. Part 5: The bigger picture. When you put all these pieces together, Draymond's leadership, Butler's intensity, Curry's greatness, and Podziemski's rise, the Warriors' 2025-2026 season becomes one of the NBA's most fascinating experiments. Best case scenario: Butler integrates seamlessly, Curry stays healthy, Podziemski blossoms, and Draymond anchors the defense. In this reality, Golden State becomes a real championship contender, capable of beating anyone in a 7-game series. Worst-case scenario: injuries catch up, chemistry issues arise, or the young players don't step up. In that case, the Warriors may be competitive but not truly threatening in the Western Conference. Expect ups and downs, but expect drama, fight, and unforgettable moments. This team will not fade quietly. The 2025-2026 Golden State Warriors are not just another team. They are a dynasty fighting for one more shot at glory. powered by veterans who refuse to give in and fueled by young players eager to rise. Expect Curry's brilliance.